Hey, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. Thanks for tuning in to the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM. If you're interested in sponsoring my show, you can send me an email to the Mike Wagner Show at gmail.com, or you could also donate to the podcast. Just go to the Donate Listen site, and you can also donate whatever you like. Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. For those who are interested, Anchor can give you everything you need in one place for free, which you can use right from your phone or computer. We've got creation tools, allows you to record and edit podcasts so it sounds great, and they'll distribute the podcast for you so it can be heard everywhere. Spotify, Apple, Google, many more. And you can make money from the podcast with no minimum listenership. So download the Anchor app for free or go to Anchor FM to get started.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking for a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page, facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here with the Wonder Woman of comedy from Tel Aviv, Israel, and she's in Los Angeles right now. She's a comedian, writer, actress, and she served a couple of years in the Israeli army, and talks about life in Israel as well too, and making the jump to comedy. And she's also written and produced MASH with Matthew Harrison from Sex and the City, and also got a new project out called Needs, a new comedy series. And before we get into all that, we have the, as we mentioned, the Wonder Woman of comedy. I mean, she'll make you laugh so hard, it'll probably blow you right through the wall and through the roof. And of course, if you don't laugh, she'll use her superpowers to make you laugh. So, ladies and gentlemen, live from Los Angeles, the Wonder Woman of comedy, or MASH. Or good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Mike. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. So
my day is so much better now that you gave me all these compliments on air.
And you don't need coffee. That's the thing. So it's a good thing, too.
Sometimes you wake up in the morning and somebody calls you a superhero. So
there you go. Now I have some super coffee. Triple espresso. Yeah. Coffee is a requirement for us people, especially you guys in comedy. So that is a requirement. So, of course, you grew up born in Tel Aviv, Israel. You served in the Israeli army for a couple of years. You worked online in the gaming industry before going into comedy. You also got a couple of projects, and you did some work with some pretty good people as well, too. And, before we get started and everything else, tell us how I got started.
Oh, wow. I don't know how far I should go back, but, initially I didn't. You were like, not too far. Okay.
No. Okay. It's like back as far as you want.
Back. I can go all the way back to when I was 4 years old, but I think we don't have time for that.
We do. It's okay. So go ahead.
But what I will tell you is that initially I didn't come here to be a comedian. I came here because, well, my backstory is, as you said, I was working in online gaming. I went to college. I got a good job in online gaming. I did well for myself. Everything was good, but one day I got depressed. This is the truth. I got depressed and I didn't know why. And after that, I got a little bit sick. I didn't get well. I had a little flu. I didn't get well. I went to the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Are you sad or stressed?" And I'm like, "What kind of a doctor?" I'm sorry, doctor. What's in it to you? And he goes,
Dr. Feelgood. That's his
Dr.
name.
Feelgood. Yeah, that's a real Dr. Feelgood. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here, right? Are you sad? Give me my antibiotics. And he goes like, well, I don't think you need it. I think that you're not getting well because you are emotionally / mentally a little down, and it's okay. It happens to the best of us. It's happened to actually most of us, if not all of us. I want you to go home, and I want you to think about what will make you feel good and the reason why you're so stressed out. And then, you know what? I went home and I'm like, what happened, right? I did everything by the book. I went to college. I did well. I found a good job. I was working hard. I had a boyfriend that loved me a lot. I had family and friends, and everything was doing fine. I was like, what is going on? Is this some sort of a midlife crisis at 25? What's going on here?
Or is it quarter life crisis in your case?
A quarter life. No, I
crisis.
thought maybe I'm being early. I'm like, no. So I was really clueless to what is going on, and so I look up at the sky. No, it wasn't really the sky; it was the ceiling of my studio apartment, and I was like, God, how did I mess this up? Tell me? I don't know. I don't know what to do, right? I was in a serious situation. And then I got like this idea in my head that says, if you want to snap out, you have to do something outside of your comfort zone. You have to do something that will kind of like shake your soul up a little bit, something that you wouldn't normally do, something that you'd get excited about, scares you or something like that. And what scares you, I'm not talking about jump off a roof or something like that. I'm talking about positively, And then for some reason I had this idea of like, stand-up comedy. I always thought it was scary. And then all of a sudden I got like, I don't know if everybody has it, but sometimes I have this like voice inside of my head that tells me how bad my ideas are.
He laughed.
This voice was Jewish. My Jewish mom, she was like, what are you talking about? Stand-up comedy. When are you going to make money? And so I brushed it off. But a week later, I was like, you know what? The hell with it.
or just like with the online game industry. Oy vey.
Oy vey. I was like, you know what? If this is what I need to snap out, I've done things right most of the time. I've done I've lived my life. Okay. Let me have this. So I said, but you know what? If I'm going to do it, I'm going to give myself a story I can tell to my grandkids. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to go to LA, whatever one. And I didn't go to be a comedian. I came to take like a writing class where I write my material down. At the end of it, there's like a showcase. So I was like, great, I'll have a showcase or like a couple of shows. I'll come back new and fresh. But little did I know that after that first time that I was on the stage, I've never felt so happy and alive. And I was not depressed at all. I was in the moment. I was like, you know what? This beats antidepressant. This beats everything I was going through before. I wanted to do something for myself, and I'm doing it for myself. So I ended up staying.
There you go. That's probably the best medicine out there. That's fantastic. And before we get into some of your works as well, too, who are some of your favorite comedians growing up?
Oh, my God. Robin Williams is one of my all-time favorites. They didn't have, Israel didn't have too many Americans comedians. The big ones would, make it overseas. During that time. It was funny because it goes back to the story when I was a little girl. I was a little girl and the Gulf War was happening where United States and Iraq were fighting, and Iraq was sending missiles to Israel. Not that I'm trying to get political, but this is what happened. Mm-hmm. And so every building had a bomb shelter. And I was sitting there in a bomb shelter within all the neighbors, and you know how neighbors are. It's like a love-hate relationship. You got this lady from that apartment that drives you nuts, and you got this neighbor that's so stubborn. It's like everybody has everybody's fighting, and everybody's kept up in this basement of a thing, and my dad's trying to work the TV. It was one of those like old school TV with antennas. He's trying to see.
Oh, I remember the rabbit ears. Yeah.
And all of a sudden, he gets the TV working, and a comedian pops up on stage. It was an American comedian, I think, and the comedian was telling his jokes. He did like a late night set or something like that. I was 6 years old or 4, something like that. So I vaguely remember it. And all of a sudden, what I do remember is that entire room from, fighting and, it's, neighbors kind of thing that happened. You fighting and not agreeing on stuff, and everybody's doing stuff, and my mom's pregnant, and this whole chaos. Everybody just starts laughing. Everybody starts laughing from this guy. He's telling his jokes. It's just silly things. It's, family jokes or whatever. I don't remember the jokes were, but everybody was laughing. Everybody related to it. And that's the first time when I saw the magic of comedy. I saw how comedy can literally transform like magic any energy that is in the room, any bad vibes, or any situation that human beings are at that they don't really want to be at. And we all have that. We, as human beings, we all sometimes find ourselves in situations we don't really want to be. And it's upsetting to us. It could be on the road. It could be with our families. It could be with a wife. It could be with our whatever it is. It could be with ourselves sometimes, or we don't agree with what we're doing and our choices and our stuff. So comedy really, I saw firsthand how it heals all of that. And it just brings people together. And that's where I said, you know what, if I can do that magic, that I'm blessed in this life. Nothing what I said I think was funny, but it's my story.
It sounds like you're blessed with it as well, too. Maybe you can do stand-up a little bit later on as well, too. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on themikewagnershow.com. Check our Facebook page at facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, Stitcher, Deezer, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. And check out the Mike Wagner Show on your iPhone, your Android, smartphone, or Alexa, and tell Alexa, play the Mike Wagner Show on iHeartRadio or your favorite device. And also catch the Mike Wagner Show on your tablet, also your laptop, and your desktop as well. We're here with comedian Ormash, the Wonder Woman of comedy. She served a couple years in the Israeli army and born and raised in Tel Aviv, coming to Los Angeles as well, too. And, of course, she does some stand-up comedy as well, too. And before we get into some of your projects, maybe a little bit of stand-up, and you were born and raised in Tel Aviv, Israel, and you served in the army for a couple of years. What was the life like in Tel Aviv?
Well, life in Tel Aviv is great. It's such a fun city. I think at one point it was voted the coolest cities in the world after Berlin. Like it was number 3 or something like that. Israelis are really warm. They're really warm people. They're very direct. That's actually one of the things I had to learn coming to America, that sometimes, being direct is not always, because I would have people tell me stuff like, see you later. And I had to understand that this is just a figure of speech. They don't actually mean they're going to, because I was like, okay, when I kept thinking like I took everything literally. And so yeah, growing up in Israel, I feel like you have to develop a sense of humor because I think that Jewish people always had a good sense of humor, and living in Israel, you have to handle all kinds of sometimes situations, just like any country has her It's hers.
Mm-hmm.
Is the country it or her?
It's their situation.
There's situation. Every country has their stuff that's going on. So Israel has its stuff going on, and so Israelis are very funny people. They like to laugh. They like to laugh and dance, and I grew up in all that environment because that's the medicine. That's how you deal with things and how you handle things and how you make things better. But I didn't know I was going to be a comedian until my 20s. Like it wasn't in my agenda at all. I was trying to make a lot of money.
and mazel tov to that.
Yes. So being the decision to transform into a comedian is not the best financial decision in the world, Mike.
Then again, beats online gaming.
It's going to take you a few years until you get more known. People know you more. It's not like just finding a job and instantly making that paycheck.
Oh, of course, in your case, beats the online gaming industry as well, too. And I have to say this. It's like, you're making me laugh already. I have to say that. It's like you've suddenly become my fan as well, too. So, so add that to your list.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I think that even with the online gaming, they would send me to all these conferences and stuff like that. And I think the way I did business with all these companies is this. I would make them laugh. I wasn't as formal as the other, representatives. I thought I didn't know if it was a good thing or a bad thing, but turned out to be a good thing because these people like, I'll do business with her because I think like when you make people laugh, they appreciate it because you gave them something and you don't want nothing back.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a really good point as well, too. And of course, what made you decide to go in the online gaming industry in the first place?
Well, to be honest, my ex-boyfriend.
Be direct. It's okay. Be direct.
I'll tell you exactly what happened. I had an ex-boyfriend that was doing very well. And one day he showed me what he's doing for work. He showed me all this online gaming stuff. And I remember that instantly I was like, I want to be as rich as him. Like,
oh my goodness.
I wanted to be, it wasn't enough for me to be the girl of, I wanted to be the boss. I don't know why, but I was like, you know what? So I went ahead and I found a job and slowly I went up the levels of the company until I became like a key executive there. And that was really rewarding. It gave me financial freedom. And it's really important. It's really important also for women, I feel like, and for any person to have financial freedom. But even as a woman, it taught me a lot. I grew up in a family of people that like coders and people that created inventions and startup companies. So I grew up in an environment of like, create what you want to do. You can. Don't tell anybody tell you can't, because you can. It will just take a little bit more thought behind it, because it's not like a 9-to-5 where you go somewhere, somebody tells you what to do. Mm-hmm. It's a little different. You have to kind of create your own structure and be your own boss. And sometimes it's hard. It's hard for me too sometimes, because you wake up in the morning and you're free and you have to every day make that choice of, am I going to work for myself or am I going to do nothing? Because you don't have a real boss. So I feel like that's a struggle when you're working for yourself, when you're working for your business, not even just as a comedian, as whatever business you're trying to build. But in the end of it, you're your own boss, you're getting your financial freedom, and you're working at something that you like. Mm-hmm. Because what happened to me is that even though I was doing well, I started feeling like I'm going to like, it's confining me. I started to feel like I'm caged. Mm-hmm. I started to feel like all these feelings, like I would go to this job and I was just can't wait to have lunch or get out or finish the day. And I was like, oh, why waste your life this way? You're still young. You're smart-ish. You got everything going for you. You're healthy. You're young. Go and try to make something for your own. And let me tell you something, it's hard, but every step that you make becomes easier and easier and easier. Mm-hmm. I think that you would know the same, right, Mike? You have the podcast and you have all the media and content out there. Sometimes the real struggle is trying to give yourself the structure.
And being in business since 1982 as well, too. Obviously, there was no podcast. Things were a lot different. But of course, if you had your own podcast and everything, I'd love to be on your show to talk about it as well, too. And of course, we can talk off the air about podcasting and everything else. And also some other interesting ventures. You served 2 years in the Israeli army. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Look at a professional website without breaking your budget. Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition way. Call today at 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 10% off your first order. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. Check our Facebook page at Facebook.com/The Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, Radio Public, iTunes, Google Play, Apple, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device and subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. We're here, a comedian or Masty, one woman of comedy. She was born and raised in Tel Aviv, Israel, moved out to Los Angeles. She was in the gaming industry and now a stand-up comedian. We'll talk about that. You served 2 years in the Israeli army as well, too. And tell us about your experiences in those 2 years in the army.
Oh, my God. I always say I did serve in the Israeli army. In Israel, it's mandatory to go to the army. Sometimes people ask me if it's like if the presence of a lot of soldiers in the street is threatening or aggressive. I say no, because everybody's going. So it's probably your cousin or your neighbor or a guy you know from school. So all these people, everybody's in it. So it's kind of like a college experience in a way, because you go there when you're 18. The only difference is you never get drunk. And then you can't go into trouble because you'll go to army jail. But you're with people all the time, with people your age. I think I always say it's good for your character, because at 18, I would say you're like the worst version of yourself. At 18, you think you know everything. You get drunk. Whatever it is you do, your character will only get better as you get older. You learn responsibility, you learn life. At 18, you're just, Jesus Christ. So to go at that age to a structure that the majority of the words that are being said to you has no, it's no, can I, no. And it teaches you stuff. It gives you character. You know what I mean? It gives you character. It makes you an adult quick. And it's a good thing, because it humbles you. It humbles you too. Like it takes you from the person that finished high school to somebody with a responsibility. And the army also sends you to school in Israel, so it gives you a profession. That said, I was not the good soldier at all, Mike. I'll be honest.
Boy, at 18, I would have not made the army whatsoever. Oh my gosh. It's too explicit for me to talk about what I did at 18. That has to be later.
But not all soldiers were like me. I come from a very patriotic family, and my father once told me that if all the soldiers in the Israeli army were like me, we would lose the war. Because I was 18 and I was so clumsy. I was just imagine a clumsy Israeli soldier. It's hilarious. Like, it's just, I would get in trouble all the time, but not because I was bad or I was trying to, just because I was clumsy and I haven't reached my potential yet, I would say,
Mm-hmm. And of course, and of course, another question as well, too, when, growing up in school as well, too, like in kindergarten, besides the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, colors, shapes, sizes, animals, and everything else, was it also a requirement to be trained on handling a gun as well, too, in kindergarten?
In kindergarten?
Yes.
What do you mean by this? You give you a gun?
Like, say, starting school, 5, 6 years old. Like preschool around there?
No. They give you a gun. In Israel, it goes like this. I think it's very good. It is like if you have a gun, you're supposed to have a gun. That means you're in the army, you're in the Mossad, you're in the police, you're a security guard. whatever it is, if civilians don't have any guns, and if you have a gun, you have to be trained for it. There's like you have to be certified for it, you know. Mm-hmm. And I was trained on the M16 and Uzi and M4. I always say I can disarm any weapon in 30 seconds. I don't know if that's true anymore because it's been a few years. I always say, because you know, in the Army also they gave me an M16 in the beginning, and I don't know if you ever seen M16 is a long rifle, and so the end of it kept hitting my leg. It felt like a baby chihuahua was trying to hump my leg. Every time I would walk, I had these bruises on my leg.
Yo quiero.
It was so long. I remember that one time we had like a fire range exercises, and all the girls were on their stomach trying to shoot, and it was my first time shooting a rifle for the Army, and the commander, you know, walked back and forth and said, "Okay, when I say fire, 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 you fire." Yes, sir, yes, okay. And he goes, "Fire, fire, fire." Now I didn't know that is it cartridges? How do you say that in English?
Cartridges, yes. Cartridges.
Yeah, they fly off when you shoot an automatic weapon. I didn't know that. This is the first time. This is the first experience in the Army, right? So the girl that was next to me, her cartridges flew on my and touched my skin, and it burned a little my skin. It was just a little warm. It wasn't much, but because I was so unexperienced and unaware, I froze. I was like, what is this? What is this? And then everybody finished shooting, and then I can hear the commander walking behind me and stopping right behind me, and goes, "Mash," and I say, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Why is all your bullets still in your firearm?" I said, I'm so sorry. Just cartridges. I wasn't prepared. I tried to protect myself from all these cartridges. I'm sorry, sir. Please don't send me to the jail. Please, I'm sorry. Just to give you an idea. But then he goes, and I go, so I paused. I'm sorry. He said, "You paused?" I said, "Yes, I paused. I'm sorry, I paused." And he goes, "Class, if this was a real combat situation, or would have had us all killed by now."
Would make great stand-up comedy. Go on.
Yeah, and wait, and then he goes, "Okay, now stop, everybody, stop, and you wait for her to shoot her gun." And the end of this story is that my score was second in the entire unit, is the best, most precise score.
Wow.
So I always say, give me the time I need, and that will be one of the best. But sometimes the Army, you know, it's a certain situation, that's just not enough, you know.
That would make great stand-up material, I have to say that.
I actually never said the story on stage. I mean, maybe I should, but you know, I'll tell you something. Sometimes my issue is I try not to be too dark. So I try to talk about these things, talk about, you know, being in the Israeli Army and serving in Israel, but I'm trying to make it funny. You know, I don't want people to go, "Oh," like I don't want people to, you know. So, you know, it's a journey. It's a journey. So you got to witness this story, not on stage.
Mm-hmm. That is amazing too. I was going to say, is this guy schmuck or what?
No, he's just a commander in the Israeli Army, and you know that's what he has to do. I love being in the Army. I love being in the Army. It gives you so much tools and character for later on this, and also it's very equal in terms of men and women. You can have a female commander. So at 18. Everybody's equal. Everybody goes to the Army. Everybody gets a weapon. You get to choose what kind of job you're interested at. And also they get to offer you stuff in terms of your skill set and the test they have you do. Wow. But it's a very equal, you know, structure.
And what was the career path you chose when you went into the Army as well, too? Or what were you tested for that they had you as, like, you know, you're going to do this or do that? That sounds interesting.
It's funny because they test you at a very young age, and I didn't feel I reached my full potential at that age. But yeah, they do the test. I can't specify too much about what I did in the Army because it's confidential. Mm-hmm. And I can't specify too much about what kind of things they test you because it's confidential. But what I will say is that I wasn't the best soldier. Okay.
That's understandable. You don't have to tell me everything, but of course, many armies operate different and whatever else. You also stress the importance of diversity, especially in entertainment. And why do you think that's so important as well? Too, you seem to stress a lot of it, which is good.
Diversity in entertainment.
Correct.
Oh, yes. By the way, I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry, I keep going to the thing. We did have a few times we had American troops come. Mm-hmm. And I remember that the Americans would say, "Oh my God, these Israelis are crazy. They're crazy." And the Israeli would say, "Those Americans, man, they're crazy." So
who's crazy and who's the mensch? That's what you wonder.
So that's also like a little lesson to teach about diversity. Here you have these two cultures that are very different from each other that came for one purpose. Which is to train with each other, to exchange knowledge and skill and whatnot. And each culture thinks that the other culture is crazy, not in a bad way, but in a badass way. But in the end of the day, they're very much alike. Mm-hmm. They're very much alike. We all have similar goals, and we're all just people, So diversity is very important. It's important to see the people who are different from you, know these cultures, and once you know them, you understand that they're not so different from you. We're all just people. Mm-hmm. We're all just people.
And that's so true as well, too. And you also worked on, written and produced MASH as well, too, by Matthew Harrison, who produced and directed Sex and the City. And tell us all about MASH.
Well, MASH is a show that I wrote while doing the UCLA Writers Program. And Matthew Harrison was my professor. And then but I kept, giving the scripts and people were enjoying them. And then one day I just got a script back saying, I'm going to direct this.
Nice.
And I Googled this guy and I see that, oh my God, he directed a few episodes in a big show in Sex and the City. I was like, well, he's going to direct my thing. I was so flattered. I was like, well, I got to do it.
Oh my gosh.
I got to do it. So it was great. It was amazing. We have a full episode now and a trailer that you can catch on Vimeo. And also you can go to my Instagram and find it. And then I'm working right now on a new series called Needs that I'm very, very, very excited about. We just finished shooting it and the series in post-production. I'm working with it with my sister, Ophir Mash, and director Natalia Montesinos. She also is an award-winning director. It's called Needs, and it basically revolves around what do us young people really need to be happy? Mm-hmm. Because this is a different type of generation. And all the books and all the things we had, we don't feel like it's relevant to us. All of it is relevant to us because this generation is also very, very, very different. So the show is a comedy about these two sisters, foreign sisters that come to America and try to pursue happiness and fulfillment. And a world that makes no sense, by the minute, which is like millennial America. Mm-hmm. And it's young and it's fresh and it's entertaining and it's super funny. And type Needs comedy series or Needs or MASH, and you can find it on Google. It's not aired yet. It's now in post-production.
Mm-hmm. That is amazing. We're looking forward to that. And I was just going to talk about that, and you hit around the head, which is something I need, which is good. And you also did Voiceless and Home as well, too. You can just tell us quickly about that.
Voiceless and Home is something that our director, Natalia Montesito, Sorry, she's sitting next to me.
Okay. I was going to say, she can come in and join us too. I love having
join us today.
Yeah, come on over.
Come.
Yeah, come.
We're all foreign females, so the accents are just flying off the roof. We had an American producer, and he's like, between you and Natalia, sometimes I don't get what the hell you're trying to say. This is Natalia.
Hello, Natalia. How are you? That is amazing as well, too. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
I would say surround yourself with people who care about you and love you, like real friends. That's very, very, very important. The people who surround yourself, the people who motivate you. If you see that somebody's trying to bring you down, for yourself, for your career, you have to take a step back. It's very important that you don't let people bring you down, because trying to build your own business is hard enough as it is, and you just need the good people to just push you and just show you love, whether they support it or not.
That is fantastic. And and of course, you have the best advice. And once again, who's your biggest influence in your career?
In terms of comedian, I love Larry David and Seinfeld, Robin Williams. I really love, and I like, in terms of female comics, I really like Ali Wong. Very funny. Go watch her special. It's hilarious. Amanda Sykes. Yeah.
That is fantastic. And once again, Ora, you've been fantastic, along with Natalia. Thank you very much for your time. You guys have been fantastic. Once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? And where can people can check out your work?
Yeah. Well, you can follow me at ImOrMash. It's IMORMASH, or you can type on Instagram or space Mash, or first name Mash, last name. You can type on Google or Mash Comedian or Mash Comedy. In terms of needs, you can type on Google Needs Comedy and my name, or Needs or Mash, or you can go to our website, which is Needs Comedy Site. You can follow us on Instagram at Mash Sisters. Under Mash Sisters we have Needs, and that's it. Or Mash, Needs Comedy, Mash Sisters, and the director Natalia Montoya.
All right. Hey, guys, just want to say a big thank you for your time. You guys have been fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon, especially Or, and do us a favor, keep us up to date. Looking forward to having again in 2020.
Yes, we'll see what's going to come up. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for having me, Mike.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.